Update August 6th. The plants are loving the heat. Let's take a walk. I'll show you around. I know it looks small, my lovely city garden, but there's a lot to see. Let's go. We have some Boston pickling cucumbers. These are my Marketmore cucumbers. We built this trellis thing. Started off with the fence down here, and then I added all this nonsense mismatch. That's working. Every once in a while I have to just tell it to go back to where it needs to go, and these tendrils catch right on. So over here, so the first things I planted this year were my Brussels sprouts, and out of maybe 6 of them that were planted in ground, I think this is the only one that might actually produce some Brussels sprouts, because I have all those little, so hopefully you can see that. It's not blurry, but that looks like they might become Brussels sprouts. But the others just got lots of greens. My marigolds, one of the first ones, look at them. That's one plant. And we have broccoli, which I've already gotten my heads off of. They weren't giant heads, but once I chopped them, I had little flowers coming up, which you can kind of still see in this one there. The remnants of it, I just took a few more florets off and ate them. This is my kale. Look at how beautiful. There's 3 plants in there, and 2 in the back are obviously doing better, but I cut from the bottom leaves and it just keeps growing. It's delicious. I made kale superfood salad the other day. This mismatch of stuff is actually my mustard plants going to flower, and they're seeding. So I'm gonna see what I can get for seeds, and maybe I can make a little bit of mustard, or at least grow my own mustard from my seed. Well, the brown ones are the ones that I can get the seeds off now. Actually, this one looks like it's already opened, but oh yep, some are already opened. But I guess I'm supposed to find it at the perfect time. This looks like it, where it's brown, not green like the others there that you see, but also not open like the bottom one that you see. I guess it's nature's way of them to reproduce. Once they are ready, the seeds are ready, the pod pops open, and hopefully the plant's hope is that more mustard will grow next year. The flowers are actually beautiful. They're yellow, so pretty. So this patch here was meant to be my corn patch. I have 1 corn. I have a hard time every year with seeds, with corn growing from seed. But I try every year. This year I had a ton of seed and I got 1. And I think it's because the birds, I have tons of birds in my yard. I'm pretty sure they're taking the seeds, taking the corn, or squirrels, one or the other. But that's what I ended up with. There's 1. And down there I have purple bush beans. Got a ton of those. So this is my beautiful zucchini. I've already harvested 2 off of this. 1 normal size. When I went on vacation it was humongous, and I have 2 growing here. But a few weeks ago I decided I had a bunch of seeds left. I wanted to Wasn't sure how this one was going because I had planted 2 over here and only 1 survived. It's doing excellent, the one that did survive. So I decided that grows fast, let's throw some in here when I was planting some beans. And I ended up getting, there's 4 left growing. All of my bush beans are all purple bush beans, and the flowers are so cute. That will become beans. This here I built for my sugar baby watermelons. I already have one growing. I did not sow these from seed. I actually picked them up closing event at a nursery, and they were just dying to get planted in the ground, so I got a really good deal on them, and I have 9 plants. And they're growing up with this trellis I made. I'm pretty impressed with how these little sugar baby watermelons are doing. So I had 2 squash over here. Only 1 made it. Just like my zucchini. Anyway, I have not produced anything off of this yet. However, I just noticed I do have a little baby one coming. There's a little girl. Perfect. So hopefully that gets pollinated and we start having the yellow summer squash. Speaking of yellow, I have my yellow pear tomatoes over here. This is just 1 plant, and by far my best of my yellow pears. I had 3 that eventually got into the ground, and this one is just doing excellent. I've had to make another trellis. I put some over a crate so it doesn't hit the ground. It's planting over in this corner, and there's tons of tomatoes. There we go. There's a bunch of those. Extremely happy with that. However, this sad pole right there going up the string is also a yellow pear and did not do very well. And the last of the 3 also not doing very well. It started off okay, and actually I've harvested a couple of the tomatoes off of here, but it just looks like it's just suffering. Even though it's suffering, it's getting little flowers, but it just looks bad. So sad. So that's my 3 of the yellow pear. So I'm happy the first one's doing excellent, and the reason why I have so many tomato plants in the yard is because I know stuff like this happens. And so these are all the tomatoes on this side. And I'm very happy with some, a little sad about some. But I know it's early for us. We're still beginning of August. In my area, usually the harvesting comes late August. Everything seems to be growing okay. I guess I just wish I would have had tomatoes. I see other people with their farm tomatoes and I'm like, how? And I realized maybe number 1, because I start all mine from seed. Maybe number 2, their area gets more sun. Maybe number 3, they fertilized more. But it is what it is. So let's do a quick tour of the tomato plants. The Brandywine Pink. Number 1 winner in my book. They are the biggest. They are still growing. I have tomatoes on them already. Tons of flowers coming in. Tons of shoots, and it's hard to see inside here. I think there's a few more tomatoes Lots and lots of greens, lots of flowers, a few tomatoes, but I'm hoping soon there'll be more. But this is the Brandywine Pink. As you can see, the leaves are a little bit different. This is the first time growing these. And when they were first growing, I was like, are you sure these are tomatoes? Here's another one. Okay, this one here, Rosa Sicilian, not the biggest, but besides maybe the yellow pear cherry tomato, probably my most tomatoes on the vine so far. So they're small, but they're growing. These are tiny, 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 but they're there. And these were, I think, the first ones to show up, but look how pretty they are. With those little wrinkles in them. I don't even know what, they look little pumpkins. And I have more growing on that same plant. And actually, I noticed from the other side, I think, there are more on that one plant. So this is the Rosa Sicilian. Oh yeah, here we go, here we go. Way more. So there's some down in here. Oh, where are you? That one's, there we go. They're hiding, but they're there. I think I already showed you that one. There's more here. More beautiful ones. Ah! So, Rosa Sicilian, definitely my most, besides the cherry, most tomatoes on the vine so far. Then we have the Valencia. Now these were the first that I noticed growing. And they're down here, and right now they are my biggest, healthiest tomatoes so far. I have a few here growing. These are smaller plants, but still have some tomatoes on there. So they're smaller compared to some of the others. I'll show you a big comparison. So I have the Valencia way down here, and the Rosa Sicilian next, and then those Brandywine Pinks back there. Now along the fence, also plants that are struggling, are my San Marzano. These are my determinate tomatoes that are like aroma type tomato, and they're also to bloom and produce all at the same time. These leaves, definitely curly leaves. This one has a couple of tomatoes coming in, which kind of bothers me. I thought they were all supposed to come at the same time. If that's it, I'm a little sad about that. Then this one along the fence. This one looks the healthiest of my San Marzano. Oh, I do have some tomatoes coming down there. I didn't even notice before. So again, if that's all I'm getting, a little sad about that. And this one here is a San Marzano. So those, not the best. Now, with all these differences and the different way they're growing, and what some are doing good, some are doing bad, everything the same way, all started the same way. Seed planted out the same week, all got the same fertilizer. The one that when they were first planted out, it was a slow release fertilizer I put in the soil, and then it took me a while to get around to giving them more fertilizer. I was afraid that I didn't want to do too much, but I did eventually feed them with a water-soluble fertilizer. Again, all at the same time. And as you can see, they're in the same garden, same soil. They got all the same stuff, and they have just different reactions. Some are growing before others, some are taller than others. Obviously, different varieties are going to grow differently. But even in some instances, like this here is the orange sweet, because this is really all that's happening with these. This one is taller, but none of them even have any flowers. So it could be the type, could not like my area. Who knows? But I'm excited that we at least have a bunch of stuff growing. Okay, so here we have the green zebra. They are beautiful. I already have some growing. So in this row here, I have 4 different plants. One is a black crim. I'll show you that one in a second. But the other 3 are my green zebra. 1, 2, and the last sad one back there, 3. It started looking awful. The leaves were terrible. It wasn't growing. I tried to take off some bad leaves and see what happens. Some were broken off. I don't know what happened with this one, but I still got 1 tiny tomato on there, and I'm letting it just see what happens. This one here, my best of my 3 green zebra, has some little babies up here. And where are you? 3 right there, and look how pretty they are. This, get out of here, leaf. They're striped zebra, green zebra looking stripes, just like it said it would. They're not that big right now. Just give you how my hand looks, but all 3 look so good. And we have 1 on this little plant. As little as it is, it's still got a cute little green zebra. And then this one at the end here is 1 black crim. And this one's looking good. Again, not a big plant, not one of the big ones. And then my favorite looking ones, because my favorite color is purple, we have our Cherokee purple. And I have 6 of these in here. And all of them, wait, I'm not gonna say all of them. Well, I'm gonna say all of them look good, because a couple of them were a little questionable at the beginning. But they all look good, and a bunch of tomatoes are already growing. So we have a little baby one here. We got a couple there. Now the next 2 plants are smaller plants, and they have been smaller since the very beginning. This one's very tiny. We don't know if this is going to do anything, but I didn't want to give up on it. Then I have some tomatoes on this last one back here. That's all I see for now. We got some in here. A ton of flowers still. I don't see anything on that one, but it looks awesome. Nothing on, oh no, this is part of that one. And we have some here. The next one over, we have 3 bunch there. And I have a Cherokee tomato in a pot, I'll show you in a sec, that is doing better than all of these. I forgot about that. When I was talking about the Roseau Sicilian, I said it has the most fruit, but these might. And this is a Cherokee purple that's in the pot. And this one plant has a bunch. We got 3 there. Oh Jesus, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 there. Yep. 2 up there, yellow flowers. And I think that's it for this one, but besides it looking a little bit tired because it was hot today. So these 2 back here are my chocolate cherry. And so far I don't see, oh maybe I do see something now. As of the other day there was nothing, but I do see a couple coming in here. Oh yeah, we got some coming. There we go. My black crim, the first 3 I have. And that other one got put with the green zebra just because I didn't think I had enough room over here. Putting one more because I needed to get to my lettuce garden, what used to be my lettuce garden. So I wanted this space a little bit open, so I didn't put them here, but these guys are doing great. So this is what I mean by like something being in the same area, and these are 3 different plants. They're getting the same sun, they're getting the same water, and some look better than others. So these black crim, I have a few coming in up there. More flowers. I did see a big one, I thought. Yep, down here. Ooh, right there. Not big, but you know, not small. Not small. And then this last one doesn't have any right now. So that's the tomatoes. Here's my pepper bed right in the middle. I'm growing 5 different types of peppers. I have tons of flowers. Only a few peppers so far. So if I look down in here, I have that little baby, very small, like the tip of my fingers. Every 2 rows is a different variety. So the first 2 are the Red Wonder. They're about a foot apart. The next row of 2 is my yellow Sunbright. So these will become yellow. The next one, heading down, because these are not as tall as the others, is my Purple Beauty. So I think just different varieties may be shorter than others because these all get the same sun, the same water, the same feed, everything. And some are just taller than others. Then the biggest pepper I've gotten so far is the Orange Sun. So these will be orange. And that one's pretty good. It's about this big. So it's got to get a bit bigger than that. Maybe because it's growing near some parsley I throw down here. Maybe. Probably not. And the last one is my Chocolate Beauty. And these are really, some are really small. And then some are a little taller. So those are the peppers. Doing excellently, in my opinion. We'll see what they end up producing. And then these are the eggplant. This one has one growing down there. You can see it's definitely popping out purple, and I touched it, it's hard, just like the one on the other plant. There it is. Now I did not sow these eggplant from seed. There's another one of those deals I found. So that's those. Doing great. My little bird bath. I don't know how these plants are going to do in here, but I'm trying to add some greenery to hopefully keep the algae out of here. If you add plants or keep them in the shade, it won't get so green in there because I've had to like wash it all out and all of that. And if you're interested in seeing how I made this little cute little bird bath, I have a video about it. Very easy. Used everything. This I already had. You can use any bowl you have. Rocks from around the yard, broken plate, houseplant cuttings, and that was all free to me. And then this little thing, pump, it's not working very good right now because it's not sunny. It works off solar power that I have it hung up on the other side of the garden. So here we have the mystery plant. A while back, as I was cleaning out the garden, I had something starting to grow. Looked like a squash, a zucchini. I didn't grow it. It decided to grow on its own from seed in the garden, so I popped it out so it didn't get ruined. Put it in a pot, and we planted it right outside of my container garden. Here in this pot we have 2 chocolate cherries. Now these are actually doing very well, although they don't look it right now. They look like they may be a little sun scorched. But I got a bunch of babies coming in, and there are 2 plants in this one pot. Was to have it go around both sides of the round metal pole I have on there, but you know how nature works. It just does its own thing. Came out one day, and the bottom parts of this pot, of the plants, I'm sorry, the bottom pot, towards the bottom of the pot, were all busted up. So I took them and threw them in these pots, and that's why these in here don't look good, because they are broken off of this plant, and they're here just to see if they will root up and grow. We'll see. This here, the marigolds are from seed. The 2 types of lavender and sage I bought, and I made this cute little pot for it together, and it just looks so cute. I love it. I even put a solar light in it so you can see it at night. This is my pepper plant that I didn't know which one it was. So when it finishes making babies, I'll know what type it is. I also have a marigold in there. Again, all my marigolds I grew from seed, and they're doing amazing. I already showed the Cherokee purple earlier with the Cherokee purple tomatoes. This one here is also a Cherokee purple that I had in a pot for the longest time. I went on vacation and said before I go, I'm throwing it in, and it's already doing amazingly. And this here I got as a gift. It's a raspberry plant. There's 2 stalks in there, and they look pretty healthy as of today. But I just really like my container garden. I thought I'd have more things in them. I did have morning glory, but they're just looking so sad. Oh, my morning glory, I thought they were going to be so much more glorious. And that's it. The garden tour, August 6, 2025. Here's where we're at. Here's what's growing. I didn't go over what's not growing. We'll talk about that another time. And we'll see you next time. Peace.